I'm sorry. Did I piss you two off? My dogs are sitting on the floor, and they did not like the clapper. Oh, okay. Goodbye. Anyways, hi guys! Welcome back to Not Responsible. As always, I am your host, Grace Kathleen Burns. I'm so excited you're here. I haven't gotten to film a Not Responsible episode. I was about to just super lie because I have filmed a Not Responsible episode this week. I'm doing so much better. I usually go like a month without recording anything, but I'm doing better. I recorded one this week, and today is Saturday, so you all know how dedicated I am, because you know where I want to be right now? Sitting on my couch, watching Freeform's 31 Days of Halloween. It's okay. I am here. Because I have very exciting stuff to talk about. My screen went away. No! It's gonna make me redo this. I had it all pulled up. It's gonna make me re-pull it all back up. Anyways, while this is loading, I'm in a new place. Again, kind of. I am back in my office. So I filmed the episode with Chloe. How did you guys like that, by the way? I thought it was really fun, and it was a lot easier for me. It was very easy for me to do. Plus, I liked it because I got to talk to other people and not just myself in a camera, because this feels kind of weird sometimes. Anyways, what did you guys think? I thought it was fun. Let me know what you guys think. I want to get more substitutes in, but I also really liked the setup. It's not the final set. The final set is still being built. However, I think this is a pretty good alternative until we can get there. I don't know how I feel about lighting, what I'm going to do about lighting, that kind of stuff quite yet. But we persist. You know what? It is what it is. Okay. I went to Country Calling Country Music Festival in Ocean City, Maryland last weekend. Oh my gosh, let me just talk about it because it was so much fun. I live for music festivals. I think they are so much fun. And I know I did a review of Tortuga, and Tortuga and Country Calling are very similar, but I just love country music so much. So there's always this bit where if I'm going to a country music festival, I'm going to cry. Just because I'm so overwhelmed with how much I love country music, and it's truly just one of my biggest passions, and I just get so overwhelmed in a good way and the bad way, but mostly the good way, because I just love live music and country music and everything about it so much. So this year, Grace is Crying Wrapped. It's too dark if I keep my head like this. What if I put my head here? Oh yeah, perfect. Grace is Crying Wrapped is gonna be Carrie Underwood's All American Girl, Jordan Davis, Next Thing You Know, Luke Combs, Where the Wild Things Are. I think that was it. It was one every day. Yeah. I honestly just cry a lot. Just because I love country music and I love music in general, and it's one of my greatest passions, and I get overwhelmed. I feel Jesus in this Country Calling tonight. I wanted to go through set by set and talk about the ones that I saw and the ones that I liked and all that kind of stuff, because I could talk about it forever. This is my favorite thing to talk about. So you're gonna listen and you're gonna like it. Anyways, I didn't mean to get aggressive with you. But start on Friday. And I also just want to talk about the weekend in general, not just the sets. But me and my mom ended up going on Thursday, and it was so much fun. We got to go down a little early and hang out, go see some stuff, go shopping. In Ocean City, there's this outlet mall, and it's so fun. We went to go to the Crocs store. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if I've ever owned a pair of Crocs. I feel like I probably have as a kid, but none that I know or remember. I mainly just use like my dad's or my brother's Crocs when I have to go outside and don't have shoes. So I don't know if I've ever like worn a pair of Crocs that fit me. Hi, Mimo. Did you guys just hear that? She shook and hit her ears on a thing. Oh, you're gonna lay there. Okay. But we went to the Crocs outlet, which is so fun. And we went to Staples. I love Staples. Staples is honestly like one of my favorite stores, and I'm such a nerd. And I got this mouse. Ah! It's the little things, you know. Did I just mess things up? I don't think so. It's the little things, honestly, that amuse me. But it was my mom's birthday on Friday. So I got a cake from Ruby's Cake Shop in Easton. And I know you guys might not know where that is, but look it up. It's really good. If you're in the Delmarva area, look it up. It's delicious. I have gotten their cake before. It was honestly one of the best cakes I've ever had. It was strawberry pretzel salad. So there was pretzels in the cake. Oh, stop. It was so good. But we did mimosas in the morning and all sorts of fun stuff. We didn't end up going to the actual festival until 2:33. The first person we saw was Avery Anna. Oh my gosh, I'm about to run out of time already. Crazy. The first person we saw was Avery Anna, and I've seen Avery Anna before at Tortuga. I actually got a picture with her. I think she's so fun. The craziest thing is she's my age. That's insane. She might be a little younger than me, actually. I don't know. Anyway, she's so talented. It's not fair how talented she is. She just can belt it's no one's business. And I like her songs. She does good covers, but I also like her songs. They're some of them are kind of sad, but her newer stuff is more fun. I think she kind of is just a testimony to how powerful social media can be, because she started completely on TikTok. So did Megan Maroney, now that I think about it. But she started completely on TikTok, and that's how she got famous and how everybody knew her. So good for her, honestly, because there's so many people that try to use TikTok to get famous and don't. At me. Then we saw Tucker Wetmore. Ma'am, I was not familiar with your game. Oh my gosh. I knew Brunette by Tucker Wetmore, and I was like, oh yeah, it's a cute song. La da da da. Didn't really think much of it. Oh my god. That dude is so talented. One of my cousins really likes him, so we went to go see him. And mid-set, he sits down at a piano, and he was basically telling the story that he was a football player in high school and college, and then after he got out, he got back into music, and he fell back in love with piano. So he sits down at this piano, and he's like, what do you guys want to hear? And everyone's like, what? And he goes, do we have any Beethoven fans in here? And starts playing Beethoven. I was like, okay. And then he was like, do we want a fun sing-along song? And he sits down and he starts playing Great Balls of Fire. I was, wow. It's crazy the things that impress me. But a lot of the times, I feel newer country music singers, they may be totally talented and great singers, but aren't musically there and musically well-rounded, I guess is a good way to put it. They only know country and that's it. But to have him sit down and be like, what? I don't know. To have him go and pull out Beethoven, I was very impressed. Also, he's hot as shit. That's a plus. I was sitting there and I was like, huh. Again, not familiar with your game. He kind of looks like Morgan Wallen, a younger Morgan Wallen, but I think he looks better than Morgan Wallen. I don't know. People are going to come for me for that one. But, yeah. He, like, Riley Green, that kind of level hot. I was very impressed. I am a fan. We then saw Brooks and Dunn, and it was so cool because, like, the stages there are named Boot, Scoot, and Boogie. Like, there's 3 stages. So it was so fun to, like, hear them sing Boot, Scoot, and Boogie. They were really good. I had low hopes. Just because, like, they're kind of old, you know? Like, I expected them to, like, be old. They sounded as good as they did on their tracks. Not kidding. Like, I would not have known that those tracks were recorded 30 years ago. They sounded so good. You can tell that, like, they were kind of struggling, though, because, I think it was Brooks was, like, kept taking breaks, like really long breaks, and then Dunn would like try to introduce a song. No, maybe it was reversed. I don't know. They would try to like introduce a song, and he would be like, mm-mm. And then I feel like they were switching up the set list because they weren't feeling great. I feel like a YouTuber right now. I guess I kind of am, like with this setup, but I feel like I'm gonna start like Twitch streaming. Or, like, start playing a video game. Like, just the way that the lamp is set up in my bingo card. This is my 2024 bingo card. Super fun. I kind of have forgot about it because I've been a little bit on the struggle bus this year. I wasn't around it. But I do have plans to, like, fulfill some more of these. Maybe I'll, like, go over what they actually are at the end of the year. Ooh, maybe I'll do that. Like, what I actually got done from this bingo card and then start my next bingo card. That might be fun. I definitely won't hit bingo this year. I do know that. I promised myself when I hit bingo I would buy a massage, but I don't think I'm going to hit it this year. Maybe next year, though. Anyways, Brooks and Dunn was so fun, and they had so many good songs. They had so many hits, and it was just such a good concert. They were so rowdy and fun, and their musicians are really talented, too. We skipped John Party. He was one of the only ones that I was, like, kind of disappointed we didn't get to see. So, the way that, like, music festivals in general work is, like, all the sets are separated out. So, at least Country Calling, I think, is, like, 1.5 miles wide because it's on the beach. And then, like, a little less narrow. It's, like, a big, long strip. So, they have 2 stages on opposite ends, and they alternate. So, people move, and then there's one in the middle. Sorry, I just pointed at you. But we knew we wanted to see Brooks and Dunn, and then it got really dark and really crowded, and we got pushed up to the front. So to go, like, back and see John Party, I would never get back to, like, my group. So I was like, if we go see John Party, cool. If not, like, no worries. So we didn't end up going. It got super dark, and I was like, man, I'm not fighting this crowd. But that's okay, because A, I've seen John Party before, and 2, we were like 10 rows back from Carrie Underwood. I could see the whites of her eyes. It was so crazy. Like, I could hear her before the microphone, or if she like went like this, I could hear her voice. Yeah, it was crazy. That whole performance was insane. Some people are way too talented. Like, that woman sang her heart out for 1.5 hours, never got tired, never seemed like she was strained, just belting one after the other. And at one point, I just sat there like, because she just kept going. And I was like, how in the world? She's done this for 20 years, and she's mega talented. But I was like, what in the world is going on right now? Like, this is so crazy. But, yeah. She's saying Something in the Water, which is about, like, baptism. And she's very Christian, which I love. And she sings a lot, like, about Christianity, like Jesus Take the Wheel and Something in the Water. Those make me cry because they're so good and they're so powerful. Carrie Underwood is also one of those artists that I think she sounded better in person than she did recorded. Genuinely. Like, it was so incredibly good. I can't get this lighting right. I'm, like, either washed out or too dark. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, it was insane. And then getting out of there honestly wasn't bad either. Like, when I tell you we were so close that I didn't even have to, like, zoom in on my camera. We were so close that looking at the Jumbotron, like, it was easier to look at her than it was to look at the Jumbotron. Yeah. Crazy! So cool. Such a fun experience. And, like, getting out of there was super fun. I mean, getting out of there wasn't super hard. And then we went home and ate pizza and celebrated the rest of my mom's birthday. I was honestly, like, a little nervous because, fun fact about me, I wake up at 5:30 every day. So I obviously, like, run my own business and stuff. And I also teach dance in the afternoons. So I usually start my work day at 6:30 in the morning so that I can get to dance on time. But because of that, I wake up at 5:30 and I usually am asleep by 8:30. So I was actually genuinely nervous about having to stay up until 11. I think the last time I stayed up until 11 was the Hardy concert, which was a month ago. And, like, the concert ended at 11. So I wasn't even getting home until, like, 1. For 3 days, like, I was actually kind of nervous about that. Which is so stupid, but it's true. Like, I was not conditioned to that. And another fun fact about Grace is if I get tired, I become a raging. I do. I am such a morning person. I'm not a night person at all. If I get the tiniest bit, like, tired, or if it's, like, past 9:30 or, like, whatever, I'm not happy about it. I want to go to bed. I like going to bed. I'll put myself asleep. Yeah. But I turned out fine. And also, thankfully, like, there was not a lot of people earlier in the festival that we wanted to see. So we were able to go a little later. Like, we didn't get till I think Friday was the first day we got there around 3. And then the rest of the days we got there around, like, 4. So, like, we were able to chill and take naps and, like, that kind of thing. But we went home and we had pizza, celebrated my mom's birthday. We all went to bed. It was a great day. The next day, woke up, hung out. There was, like, more people staying with us than went to the festival. So we all got to, like, spend time together, which was fun. And then we went on Saturday. I'm so sorry. I know you don't like that sound. I'm sorry. Mia looked up at me like, why are you doing that? Hi, Pookie. You're so cute. Mia has had her TikTok moment in my recent TikToks because she doesn't leave my side. And she really has thoroughly enjoyed me working from home recently. So she just stays with me everywhere I go. She scared the shit out of me this morning, actually, because not to, like, give away a lot of personal information, but my office is, like, you have to walk up a flight of stairs. So she was in one room and I went downstairs to grab something and I didn't know it, but she, like, walked up the stairs and the stairs, like, have a sharp corner. So, like, after, like, you can't always see. I'm giving away too many details about my house. Anyway, Mia popped her, like, or Mia came upstairs. I was downstairs. I didn't know she came upstairs. I was walking up the stairs and she, like, popped her head around the corner. I almost fell down the stairs. I was not expecting to see her at all. But she has a dog bed in here and she likes to hang out with me while I work. Because most of the time, if no one's here, she's just alone and sad. She has Layla. but she likes when the humans are here. Anyways, Saturday. I don't want to say that I'm like don't know a lot of the Judd songs because I do. I don't know. They were good. We caught the end of it. So it was pretty fun. You guys want to know some tea though? Okay. So when you go to like these festivals, everyone that's over 21 gets like a wristband like this. This isn't like the country calling wristband. This was for a different thing. But you get it like an over 21 wristband. So you don't have to get ID'd every time you go to the bar. Well, on Saturday, me and my cousin, who are both over 21, walked up to the bar and they were like, "Oh, can we have your ID?" And we were like, "Why?" And I'll give her credit. It was really busy and I don't think she really cared to elaborate. Like, she seemed like she was in a bad mood. And she was like, "Just because I need your ID or I can't sell it to you." So me and my cousin were like, "Well, that's weird." So we walked back over and got our IDs and came back. And then my cousin went to a different woman and they had her ID too. And she was like, "That's so weird." So we, whatever, went about our day. Later in the night, like, we went back to the bar, or I went without my cousin, and I was like going to order, and they were like, "You need your ID." At this point, it was much later in the evening, and there was like no line, and I was like, why? Like, can I be so for real? Like, why do I stand in line to get the over 21 band if you just card me anyway? Like, what's the point of me doing that? And I told her, I was like, I'm not even trying to be like sassy, but like whatever is easier, like, I'll do. Like, why do I stand in this 20-minute line to get the wristband if you just ask for my ID every day? And she was actually really nice. The bartender next to her was not. The bartender next to her butted in our conversation and was like, she had like the drink that I ordered and like put it down on the counter. And when I said like I didn't have my ID, because I left it with my aunt who was on the other side of the festival, so I didn't have it. She like snatched the drink off the table and was like, "We can't serve you." And I was like, I'm just confused, like, as to why, because I had yesterday's wristband on too. And I was like, I also have my ID like on my Apple Wallet. So I was like, I don't understand what the issue is. Like, I'll do whatever, like, I don't care, but I'm just confused. And the one bartender that I was talking to said, so early in the festival, like 3 hours in, because every day they get like a new color, each bar has over 21 wristbands that they give out. So like even if you don't stand in the over 21 line, you still get a wristband when you go and order any drink. So let me get situated. So apparently somebody went up and ordered a drink and stole a cup full of over 21 wristbands for Saturday. And they were selling them to minors. So everybody who looked under 40 had to get re-ID'd. Isn't that crazy? I've never heard of that before. I mean, like, I'm sure it happens a lot, but I'm like, why isn't there more, like, why don't you hide the wristbands? Why are they sitting right there on the counter? And then, after, like, I realized what was going on, I looked down and, like, she has a cup full of wristbands right there. I was like, haven't we learned? Maybe keep the wristbands under the counter? Whatever. We also caught the end of Gretchen Wilson. I like Redneck Woman and Here for the Party, but that's kind of the only ones that I know from her. Also, at that point, I was just tired. I kind of did not care. And then we saw Zach Top. I love Zach Top. He is so fun. I love his music. And you know, like, one thing that kind of, I don't want to say irks me, but I think is funny, is Zach Top has like a very 90s sound. And on Apple Music, and I feel like a lot of country now has like a very pop sound. like it's a mix between country and pop, or country and rap, or country and whatever. And when you go on Apple Music, all that is labeled under country. But if you go on Zach Top, it's traditional country. And I'm like, I feel like it should be reversed. Like, I feel like Zach Top should be country and everyone else should be like pop country or rap country. I don't know. I do have an entire episode of like the history of country music coming. You're welcome. So like we'll get into that more, but like I feel like that should be reversed. Anyways, I love Zach Top. He was so fun. I really, really wanted to see Zach Top, and my cousin really, really wanted to see Jordan Davis. So we like split it. Both are so good. I did not realize how many new songs Zach Top had. Like, he sang his classics and like his hits and that kind of stuff, but like he sang a lot of new ones I didn't know, and I really liked them. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking into that new album. Jordan Davis is always fun. Jordan Davis, like, low-key makes me cry. Because his songs are just so emotional for, like, no reason. I'm like, what was that noise, Mia? We heard a noise and she picked her head up. Honestly, though, I'm also not going to say that because it gives away too many details about my house. But Jordan Davis is awesome. His songs are so fun and then like also so emotional. Like, it just kind of depends. And then so Luke Bryan was the headliner after Jordan Davis, and like it was Zach Top, Jordan Davis, Luke Bryan, like on the opposite stages. And kind of the same as like John Party, it was like there's so many people that I don't really want to fight it. So to see Jordan Davis, we knew that we were going to get in the back for Luke Bryan. Well, Jordan Davis ends, and me and my cousin are like, you want to go get ice cream? I don't know if this is just an Ocean City thing, but there's a ice cream place, a soft serve place called Coors. It's like Kohrs. So good. Oh my gosh. Every time we go to Ocean City, I'm like, I need this thing. There's a couple like Ocean City things that you really need to do, or you like should do when you go there. Another one is the French fries. What are those called? Thrasher's French fries. Oh, they're so good. And Fisher's popcorn. So good. Only like Maryland people will understand. But like there's Dumpster's ice cream, which is like dairy ice cream, and then there's Coors soft serve. There are like certain things that are like Ocean City stuff that you really need to do, and one of them is like the soft serve. Anyway, we go and get the soft serve. Oh, goodbye. And Luke Bryan, you could hear Luke Bryan playing from the other side of the boardwalk, and then all of a sudden it stops. Like the lights go down. She's so stinking cute. The lights go down and everything stops and everything gets quiet, and it's like you couldn't even hear the crowd, and it was like, what's going on? So me and my cousin are walking on the boardwalk, and we're like, what the heck is happening right now? Apparently, so it was like 15 minutes of silence. No lights, no nothing. And you could see like the crowds of people. There were 60,000 people there. And Luke Bryan finally comes back on, and he's standing at the microphone, and he's like, we were singing, someone fell. What do you say we start singing again? And apparently we saw this on like, or I need to get my story straight. So we started singing, and it really must have thrown him off, because he like was all over the place, scatterbrained after that. About 20 minutes later, we see a helicopter land on top of one of the hotels by the boardwalk and then take off. We saw on the news the next day that one of the photographers, who was over 60, tripped and fell and cracked their head open on a concrete thing and had to be helicoptered out. So that's why everything was stopping, because all the guy had to be carried out. and apparently helicoptered out too, which is so scary. I hope he's doing well, because that's terrifying. Anyways, the show was really good. It was really fun. I feel like Luke Bryan might have been getting sick or something, because he kept like the whole time like turning his head and coughing, and like he wasn't as jumpy as he usually is. This was my first time seeing him, but just from like what I've heard from TikTok and all that kind of stuff, he wasn't like super, I don't know, energetic out there, whatever. So I feel like he might have been getting a little sick. And then we went home and we went to bed. I think everyone was so tired at that point. Sunday, I was so tired between not sleeping all that great, not getting enough sleep, all the people, those crowds and stuff, they wear you out. And it's like, yes, physically, because you're walking in sand the whole time, but you're also bumping into people and you're talking to people. Like, your social battery runs out very quickly. At least mine does. So by the end, I was like, done. So Sunday rolls around and we got there around 3 or 3:30. Yeah, because we caught a little bit of Chase Matthew. We walked over to the other side of the stage, and Steven Wilson Jr. was playing. So Steven Wilson Jr. opened for Hardy when I went to go see him in Hershey Park. He was good, but at Hershey, he didn't blink like his whole 30-minute set. And as soon as I saw him, I was like, hey, you tried drugs recently? And my mom was like, what do you mean by that? And I was like, he's not blinking, mama. Like, he's very obviously on drugs. And then later in like his set, he admitted, he was like, yeah, I've done a couple drugs in my lifetime. I was like, I knew it. I told you. He's very, very talented, but he was just kind of weird. Like, obviously he was high. And on Sunday at Country Calling, he sang all the same stuff, but he like was sober, or at least seemed sober. So it was like a little more fun. He's a little more entertaining to watch. I like his music. It's very like, maybe rustic is the right word. I don't know. I'd have to like listen to it better. So then, okay, this is kind of tea too. So we're sitting there listening to Steven Wilson Jr. and Co Wetzel was supposed to be there later that night. I also saw Co Wetzel at Hardy. But we're sitting there and we all get a notification that Co Wetzel bailed. And they said that it was because he had like trouble with his airplane and he couldn't find a way there. But my brother was talking to some security guards and they were like, yeah, that dude has not played a festival since like August. Like, he's bailed on every single festival. So they were all saying that they were kind of expecting it. And then they also pointed out, so when you went to the merch stand, all of the openers and headliners had their own merch there except him. So we were like, ooh, maybe that was planned. And they were like, they probably didn't sell anyone because then the people that were just there for Sunday or just there to see Co Wetzel would sell their tickets or not come or whatever. Crazy. Just don't do that. My computer started moving. But we saw Gabby Barrett. I knew a couple of Gabby Barrett songs. She is like similar to Carrie Underwood in the sense of like, she is much better in person than she is on her recordings. Because, oh my gosh, girlfriend can sing. There's a couple of her songs, especially like there were some worship songs in there that I was like, I'm definitely adding that to my playlist. And then we saw Gary Allen. Gary Allen's so old, but I love him. He's so fun. He sings like rock country. And then Luke comes. I'm running out of time, so I have to be kind of short. But Luke Combs is always fun. Honestly, this is my second time seeing Luke Combs. They're great every time. His songs are fun. His concert's fun. Yeah. I don't know what else I want to say. People are kind of rude, honestly. People kind of ruin the festival experience because it takes one person to be shitty. There's 60,000 people there, and it just takes one, and then everyone's pissed off. And you're up close next to people. Yeah, the other people are kind of ruin it, unfortunately. They had really good food there too. I was surprised. Their concessions were really good. They had pizza, they had rice bowls, they had all sorts of things. I think that was all my points that I wanted to say. I don't have much time left. Anyways, go do your extra credit. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.